Hey, so I recently upgraded my Onefinity Journeyman to the Journeyman Elite with the Masso controller. Now, as awesome as that is, it did create a problem with my DIY spindle and VFD setup. So, in this video, I'm going to show you how this 30-ish dollar cable can save you a lot of time and headache if you're running a same setup or something similar in the future. To do this, I am using a multimeter or multimeter, however you want to say it. Basically, this is a device, or you just need a device that allows you to measure continuous current. So if you have one, or if you want to buy one, there'll be a link for it. Or you can, if you have a friend who has one, just borrow theirs. You'll need a book. This is just to write down some notes. And of course, you will need the cable. So basically what we're going to do is these were not labeled when I got them. So I didn't really have a way of knowing which cable was assigned to which number. So that's where this comes into place. So first, using the one that I have, I'm going to put it in continuity mode. And continuity mode is basically, I'm going to attach one end to the connector and the other end to the loose wire until I hear a beep. So here is, for this model, it's the speaker looking symbol, but if you have the instruction manual, it'll tell you all that. And then you get your cable, and it's kind of hard to see, but each little port is numbered. And so I'm just going to put the tip of this guy into number 1. And I'm going to take the red, and I'm just going to start touching cables. So it's not yellow, not white. All right, so black is giving me a tone. So now I know 1 is connected to the black wire. And this is where your notebook will come into play to write down each one. So that way you can kind of just keep track as you go along. And then I'm going to try it again with another one. So just so we know for sure. So I'm going to go into 2. So I'm in 2, and let's go with the black one. 2 is not black. Oh, 2 looks like 2 is red. All right, so yeah. So you pretty much do that. It doesn't take too long. You just kind of keep moving around here, placing one in each point until you get all of your connectors labeled. When it's all done, you should have a list that looks something like this. So this is for mine. Like I said, I don't know if it will correspond to your cable, so that's why I say this test is probably the best way to go about that. But now we can take this information and go over to the VFD and make the proper connections. All right, so based on everything I found from Masso, Onefinity, and other various online research, the connections we're going to focus on are the forward, reverse, VI, ACM, and DCM connections. Now, the corresponding colors to those are your black cable will go to the ACM, which according to the Huanyang manual is at the ground. Your red cable is going to go to VI. Your yellow cable is going to go to forward. The white cable is going to go to DCM. and the green cable, over here, hiding back here, is going to go to reverse. So I'm going to connect that in, and so you can see what it looks like. Now, before I show you what the connection looks like, I did do some off-camera modifications to the wiring in the VFD, but instead of boring you with a bunch of soldering, I kind of just skipped over all that. So one of the things I did is I added in a grounding bar to the VFD. And what this does is once it connects to the natural ground in the VFD, it gives me additional spots to add grounding connections. So now all the devices that need a grounding source can connect into here. So before we get into the wiring, I made some modifications to the cable. So first off, the shielding cable, that was the silver connection, is I basically connected it to a wire and added to a spade point, so now it can connect to the grounding bar on the inside. The orange cable wasn't connected in this setup, so instead of cutting it off or trimming it back, I just used some tubing and basically made a little cap for it. So if I need it down the line, I can just kind of take the cap off. But if not, leave that there. That way it doesn't connect to anything. Everything else is as it was previously set up, and now we're going to go into the terminations. Okay, so all the cables are now connected. Didn't want to bore you with some background stuff. You can see here we have green, yellow, white, black, and red. Orange is down there capped off, and the stranded wire is connected to a ground. Here is the list. Yellow into forward, green into reverse, red into VI, black, which is listed as ground, but it's not a traditional ground, is listed to ACM, which is ACM is a digital ground, and white into DCM. So this, based on the cable testing that I did between both the Masso and the VFD, all connect up based off the multimeter and should work. So now I'm going to cover this up and power it back on and get to configuring. So also, before I get too far in, you will see off to the side there is a jumper, and it's on VI and VR. So when I first opened it up, it was on the 2 slots next to VR, based off of what I saw on a video on the Masso website using this particular VFD. In the video, he stated to move it over to the VI section. So originally it was on VR, and then I jumped it over to VI. I also found the VFD manual, and inside it said that the VI VR connection is if you plan on using external input. So since we are connecting this to the Masso, that qualifies as external input, and I tried it without it and it doesn't work. So make sure to move the jumper over. Now that everything on the VFD is wired, I've powered it up. As you can see, you're at the display screen. If this is your first time working with this particular VFD, to program it, you will hit the program button. You will go to PD0. You will hit set. You will change the number from 1 to 0 and hit set. Now your machine is available to take all the changes that you are going to make. So you can go to whatever number is on the list. I'm not going to program all of this right now. What I will do is I'll have the screen here, and I'm going to leave this screen here just for a little bit. You can always pause the video, write it down, do whatever you need to do, but it's here for now. Now, for any of the settings with a star next to them, that is related to your spindle specifications. So I have a 2.2 kilowatt spindle. It's at 400 hertz, and it does 2400 RPMs, and I'm using a 110 volt. So if you look at the corresponding settings here, all of these relate to my spindle. If your spindle is different, you should have these markings on there, and you should be able to adjust accordingly. So now that the VFD is programmed, we are going to go over to the Masso screen and get set up here. So we start by hitting F1, going into setup. Then we double tap on main spindle. Here, most of the settings were already there for me, but just to double check, spindle control should be set to VFD. The maximum RPM should be set to 2400 or whatever matches your spindle. Spin up delay was defaulted at 6,000. That's basically like it'll take 6 seconds to spin up or spin down. So once those all look correct, we will save those settings. Then we're going to go over to the F2 screen, and that is our program in MDI. We are going to click the MDI control button in the lower corner. Here we've already kind of done some testing, but we are going to set a speed for our spindle. So we're going to go with S5000 and hit the run button, and that will set us up. Then we are going to hit M3, and that is the command that will actually start the spindle. And just like that, your Masso and VFD are now configured to work together to control your DIY spindle setup. I hope this video was helpful to you. If you enjoyed it, please hit that follow button below. And as always, I appreciate your support. Happy carving!